Hello, everyone. Welcome to the April edition of our office hours. As a reminder, we're a CNCF project, which means we adhere to the CNCF Code of Conduct. And if we need to sum it down to 2 sentences or one, just like be nice to each other and be reasonable. And let's start the meeting. So how about we start with a short introduction round? Ladies first, I guess, and doesn't make too much to choose from, so I'll go first. Hi, I'm Danielle. I'm the PM for Flatcar for the last 4 years, I guess. And we do have few new faces today. So, Logan, the way we do it, everyone introduce himself and just choose randomly someone else on the stream. So, it's you, Logan.
Thank you. So my name is Logan Blythe. I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia. I work for a company called Hedgehog. And so we're using Flatcar to we're using Flatcar and running K3S on top of it. And the purpose of that is to run a network management system. So we have an open source project, weirdly named Git Hedgehog on GitHub. But so we use Kubernetes and Kubernetes kind of custom resource definitions to control networking elements, specifically Sonic Linux, or the Sonic Linux distribution based networking elements. So what brings me here today is I have a pull request to change some of the kernel configs so that you can use the Mellanox NIC offload features a little bit better. I said a little bit better. Oh yeah, no. So Hedgehog itself, the company, I think is actually registered on the West Coast. It's I think it's in Seattle is where our CEO sits. But we have engineering in the San Francisco Bay Area, and then we actually recently we hired a few people in Barcelona as well. So they came in really handy to a show of force for Mobile World Congress. Yeah. Oh, what is this? Yeah. So that's me. I guess, like I said, I could keep on talking for quite a while, so I'll try to hand it over gracefully to Thilo.
Thank you. Hi. Checking in from my vacation because it's just been a fun last 2 weeks, and I thought I'd give a bit of reflection there. I am with the Flatcar team. I work for Microsoft as a manager, and I'm blessed enough to be a maintainer of the Flatcar project. So every now and then I get to play with some coding as well. And I generally try to help other maintainers to succeed in the project. I help contributors to become maintainers and all of that kind of meta thing. I see another new person around. Rick, would you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, sure. Okay, my name is Rick. I work for a company called CodeSphere. I'm based in Berlin, and we basically do use Flatcar as the base OS for the majority of our nodes. So that's basically we run workloads on Kubernetes and then run Flatcar on Equinix, Flatcar on GCP, and then if everything goes well and Supermicro ships our orders, soon to be Flatcar on Metal. So that's kind of the story there. And then basically occasionally when something comes up that does not work as I think it should, I tend to ask, and sometimes I have very funny, stupid ideas and ask in the Slack channel about them. So I guess if you hang out in the Slack channel a lot, you might have seen my name pop up occasionally. Yeah, so far so good. I guess I don't know who's new, so I'm just gonna pick Mathieu.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Mathieu from France, and I work on Flatcar as a maintainer, currently working on the new Flatcar infrastructure. What about you, Adrian?
Hello, I'm Adrian. I work for Cloud-Based Solutions, a company in Romania. I'm also a Flatcar maintainer, and I enjoy being here. let's see how we can help. Chewy?
Yep, calling in from Edinburgh in Scotland. Also part of the Flatcar team by day. By night, I'm also a Gentoo developer. Tilo's my boss, so I have to be here. No, just kidding. And yeah, with that, I'll hand over to Danielle.
As much as I like to talk, I would defer to Dongsu. I already introduced myself.
My name is Dongsu. I am part of a Flatcar maintenance team at Microsoft and based in Berlin, Germany. We are usually working on tracking security issues of Flatcar as well as Rust-based projects. That's it. Erwin?
Hi everyone, I'm also a maintainer at Flatcar, but I'm mainly focusing on Nebraska at the moment. I could also say perhaps that I'm one of the newest maintainers from the team. Yeah, and welcome to the new faces here. I'm not sure, am I the last one from? I think so.
Okay, so I think everyone's spoken, right? How about Tilo? Would you mind sharing the agenda? I have some issues here.
Live sharing is on.
Excelemento. Okay, so Tilo, Mathieu, and I were in KubeCon. So how about we start a small recap about that? And now that the three of us are here, I'm going to tell you that we're going to make also a blog post about it. So just like think about what you want to say, because that's going to be on paper and later as a blog post that we could share. Tilo, how about you starting?
Yeah, we had pretty. It was an intense, kind of a little longer than a week. Started with Cloud Native Reject actually, where Danielle and I had a sponsored keynote from our corporate overloads, 5 minutes, and this 5-minute keynote was kind of harder to practice for than like a 30-minute talk. Like we needed to be on time, and we had quite a bit of stuff to talk about, basically about investments Microsoft does to the open source community, and then like our own part of it. And then we closed the keynote, and we're very proud about that. We made that. We closed the keynote with a timed like sentence both of us said. And that kind of we got some cheers, so that was fun, but also very exhausting because we trained I think for 2 weeks for this. And then I had a kind of a radical idea for my own talk for Reject, so I practiced that thing. It's about sysex and shipping Kubernetes and immutable images and making it live updatable and all of that. Yeah, well, while practicing, the talk went way over time, like way over the 30 minutes. Every time I did that, so I tried a radical approach. I just did demos, like I skipped all the slides, and when I just didn't do any of the slides, I hit the 25-minute mark. So I thought, hey, that's what I'm gonna go for. And yeah, worked out well, got some good traction, got some good feedback on sysex. Also got the usual feedback. I didn't know sysex exists, so I kind of felt very like beneficial, the whole thing. And lastly, I spent all 3 KubeCon days on the Flatcar booth, had a lot of chats with like a ton of folks, starting from what is Flatcar, which is nice because it gives you a nice entry, to yeah, I do this and that with Flatcar, and I run into this and that thing, and then we do this and that, and so basically deep dives and helping people along. But yeah, I'm glad I'm back home. So I do these. I do enjoy these, but I think 2 in a row in like 8 days. That's as much as I need. Like I'm good. I'm good. So that was my kind of KubeCon. I mostly enjoyed talking to folks. Like this is the big thing, chatting about stuff both my peer and I like, and just enjoying communicating with folks. How about you, Matthew?
Hey, thanks, Tilo. So yeah, my feedback is a bit similar to yours. So I gave a systemd CZX tutorial with some folks from Fedora CoreOS. So we gave 90 minutes of tutorial how to get started with systemd CZX, how to deploy things, how to run things, and how to build your own CZX. And we finished by deploying a Kubernetes cluster made of Flatcar nodes and Fedora CoreOS nodes using CZX. So that's why, but that was quite, it was quite fun. So yeah, I spent most of my time, same as Tilo, on the booth. It was really great to discuss with contributors, discuss with folks that want to know what is Flatcar. They're already using Flatcar and they want to know some status update on some features. So that's always interesting to get feedback on this. And yeah, I've been discussed with some other booth during the event. For example, we were sharing a booth with KubeSpray, which is a Kubernetes installer using Ansible. So yeah, we might get some contribution to do from both sides to get a proper Flatcar support. So there is already a Flatcar support, but that would be awesome to have end-to-end testing, for example. And yeah, this kind of discussions we got during 3 days. Yeah, so more on the blog post about this. What about you, Daniel? So
Well,
yeah, just one second. I see the message from Logan regarding the systemd CZX talk. It's not going to be shared because it was a tutorial, so they are not recorded. But you have all the content on the GitHub repository, and we are thinking about what to do now with this content. If we should merge it to the Flatcar documentation or elsewhere. But yeah, more I will send you a message if something is made public, but you can already find the slides and the content on the CNCF KubeCon schedule thing. So yeah,
great.
Daniel.
It actually kind of sparked an idea. Maybe for the next meeting we could do a demo. How about that? I mean, that's always nice. Any volunteer, Matthew?
You want a demo of what?
Of system extension, systemd, like how to run something, or like
Yeah.
a demo app or something of that nature.
Yeah, I remember Tilo is having some in-place updates demo around the corner. So if he wants to do something like that.
How to
Always.
deploy a Jitsi server or whatever.
You saw me. I'm sharing the screen, and you saw me googling for the video that I now posted in. Well, now everybody can find it. Sorry for that. That's because thanks for the ping, Rick. Yeah, usually you don't get the Jitsi chat in the YouTube video, and now everybody knows like the keywords they need to put into. In this case, Bing, to find the video to get the link. New folks here in the meeting get the benefit of clicking on it right in the chat. Sorry for that.
Cool. Maybe someone could post the link to the bakery in the chat. All right, I'll in the meanwhile talk about my experience. As you can guess, it wasn't that different. I mean, we were in the same physical space. So yeah, it was, it's intense. I mean, KubeCon itself is quite intense. And compare, I mean, it's big anyway, if you go to North America or to Europe, but Europe is bigger. So there were 12,500 people, and that's like the last 3 days of the 6 days that Tilo and I experienced. Because the first two, it's either like Tilo had like 2 days in Rejects, which is a small, more intimate conference, which is nice, slide into KubeCon. But the second day, I was actually already at the big venue. The maintainer summit, I gave so like the first day we gave the sponsored keynote, which had like nice words like strengthening the company's brand and stuff like that, which are supernatural however you spin them. So that was an experience. And then I had to go to the Maintainer Summit, gave a talk there about how to go through a project review when you go from, to sandbox to incubation to maturity and graduation in the CNCF lifespan of a project. So talking about that. And then we had 3 days in the booth, Tilo, Mathieu, and me. Half days, but still half days in KubeCon are intense. There's a constant stream of people, a lot of noise around you, and swag that you could take. I'm good, like getting swag. It's like something to play with. So yeah, it's nice because then you have meeting, like an opportunity to meet people who don't know about Flatcar, that are actually really excited about Flatcar and been using it. And I don't know, I found it really exciting, to be honest, because most of the time I just spend around like at home alone behind the screen. So an opportunity to meet the community face to face is exciting. Or like we do now, the office hours. Happy to see new faces. Yeah, and as I promised, there would be a blog post. I don't know if they're like probably in a week or two. Depends also on these two there. Yeah, Mathieu and Tilo. No pressure, but a bit pressure. All right, Chewy, you got the next item. How about you introduce it?
What was it? I've forgotten about it now. Oh yeah. Didn't we talk about this in the dev one?
Yes, we did, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. It. I guess just for the benefit of users, if you're using AWS, we have recently switched our images to using UEFI rather than BIOS. This is currently dependent on which instance type you use. So if you're using one of the legacy types, it will still use BIOS because that's the only supported option there. We have been considering switching to UEFI only to make use of some of the features there, but I think the stance for now is that we'll probably try to support both, if anything. So yeah, no breakages happening, nothing to worry about. Okay, that's it.
Cool. I wanted also to point it out that we're starting a new series of meetings. So every last Friday of the month, we have a bug smashing day in which we do a live stream all day, sitting together and smashing bugs. There's a lot of bugs that are marked as first good issue. So if you're excited about the project and want to be more hands-on, we are most welcoming everyone to participate. Or if you're just like have something and want just like to say hi and have the opportunity to see people, I don't know, bashing their keyboard. So there you go. You would have this opportunity a whole day. So time zones would be easier. And I would make sure to post on social media and everywhere that we are, so people would have a heads up. So just have it in the back of your head. And usually Cyan is doing this bit about the release planning. I'm not sure who's going to cover it now. Any volunteers? Wow. Okay.
I don't do releases yet.
Yeah, I just came back from the KubeCon today, so I'm not aware about what's going on. But I think we should release next week, if I recall correctly.
I think it's been postponed, hasn't it?
Oh, right. Yeah, I see it's end of April. Okay.
So forget about it. Just forget about it.
It's still before the dev swing door, so I'm curious about one thing, and fortunately Adrian is here. What are the chances to get 6.12 into that release, into the alpha?
Hello, working on it. Hopefully by today I'll have something that works. There's the Hyper-V daemons that do not build anymore, so working on it. I'll keep you posted.
Oh, okay. That
It
sounds great.
worked. You know, it worked 3 days ago, but with 6.12.0. So yeah, working on it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Good.
I think
That's it.
that's what we got for. Oh, Rick, do you want to talk? We're about to open the stage now, so go ahead.
I mean, I'm curious. So, if anything isn't planned in to be part of the release now, can it still like go in, or is it like closed, or how do these things work?
We usually keep it open until the last minute, particularly since new features are only into like big features only get to into alpha, and we have a pretty thorough set of release tests. So if something interesting pops up next week and gets emerged, then sure, it'll be an alpha. If something should be an alpha, and like contributors wanna basically make us aware of that, then there's always the metrics channel. Just ping us and tell us, hey, it would be awesome if you could have that. We're confident to complete the work next week. And as usual, share early and share often, right? So people can be aware of these things. But in general, we're pretty relaxed with merging features.
Are you on metrics?
No, just Slack.
So, like, if you go to the Flatcar repo, there is the README, and under the README, there would be like the link for metrics.
Also, we have a new flatcar.org website, and the metrics channel is way easier to find.
So are you referring to the cloud init fix?
Of course.
Yeah, so I see that Cyan approved this yesterday. So yeah, I guess it will be available in the alpha at least. And yeah, it seems to be a bug fix. So maybe we could see to backport it on beta as well. And like, so you can get some feedback on this feature.
Cool.
If
But
it's a
yeah.
bug fix, yeah. If it's a bug fix, yeah, we should consider backporting.
Yeah, it's half bug
Yeah,
fix
yeah.
and new
Okay.
features in a way. But yeah, we can discuss about this on Matrix. But yeah, for sure it will goes on the next alpha release for sure. But let's discuss about the beta.
Cool. I mean, for me personally, I think alpha is good enough, right?
Yeah, if it's
I'm
not if there is no emergency on your side, I think it's better to have it on alpha. And if we get some traction from the community, like they really want this unstable, we can see to backport it this. But if there is no emergency, we can just skip use alpha only.
Cool. Thanks.
All right. Anyone else want to share something, talk about anything?
Yep.
Go ahead, Chewy.
So in my quest to upgrade Dracoot, which generates the init RD, it bloated the image quite a bit, and I've been trying to find various causes. And one of them is that it's added the OpenSSL FIPS module, which Flatcar sort of says, well, you can use FIPS on Flatcar, it can be FIPS compliant, but actually when I looked into it, the way that we build the FIPS module itself is not compliant. So I've discussed with Matthew already whether this is something we should support. I think a bit more work is needed to actually make it compliant for people, but if no one's really that interested, then it might be worth just dropping it to avoid the maintenance cost. So that, yeah, this is just me shouting out in case anybody particularly cares about it.
Yeah, we can discuss about this again on metrics, but if Gen2 wants to drop this and we need to maintain this downstream, that's another burden to maintain.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, with Flatcar, we try to keep a lot backward compatibilities. So I'm a bit worried if we already have some users using FIPS. But as you said, it's FIPS not really compliant in the way it's done. So
yeah.
So maybe we can work if it's a low-hanging fruit to have it really compliant. I'm not sure, but I do remember talking about this like 2 or 3 years ago when we integrated this feature. So I just need to sit down a bit on this again and think.
I think if we were to do it properly, it does need to be in the init RD, and but it never has been up till now. So for now, I can just leave it out and avoid these space issues, and then we can revisit that when we have more space.
Yeah, and maybe what you could do in the meantime is to open an issue, like, so we don't forget about it.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Letter, maybe you would like to also talk, like, and say what you were talking about in the chat here. No pressure. If not, I'll just share it with everyone that will not have access to the chat here. So we were talking about adding image for instance on Oracle Cloud. Still have the stage if you're interested. But that would definitely be of an interest for everyone.
Does anyone know if Oracle's cloud is based on something we already support, like OpenStack?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
I would not expect to have this kind of support, but yeah, I'm not even sure if Ignition is supporting Oracle, but that could be definitely a good things to investigate on for interested users.
So yeah, new vendors are always interesting to support. It's just, as they say, it's just work. First step would be to check if the metadata is supported in Afterburn and Ignition. So basically, if images can read cloud metadata and user metadata and can configure the way Oracle serves them to new instances and can basically make use of that. If that's not supported, we have points of contact to work with in the Ignition and Afterburn teams to add that support. And I think documentation should be available. And then the second thing is the image format. Basically, what image format is expected by Oracle? Is it QCOW? Is it something they use and they define? And that too should be well documented, so probably easy to do. And then the third thing, and that is actually already solved. If we have support, when we have support for metadata and can build images for Oracle Cloud, then we need capacity to test on, basically to add that to our CI and our release process. And that is a solved problem because Oracle is a sponsor of the CNCF and we don't have any issues getting capacity. So we have solved step 3. So if someone wants to start working on step 1 and 2, that would be awesome. And they'll, of course, get our support. It will also be a good kind of way to get into Flatcar development and folks are interested.
Did you see the last comment from Leisure? He can't open his microphone.
I'll check it. So apparently there is a bring your own image and it has Flatcar container Linux. I remember that because we did some work on Oracle Cloud back in the day when we were still Kinfolk. So I'm gonna open it here in the shared video so people can see it in the stream. All right. Not sure. So this is probably not like marketplace level of support, which is something out of the box support, which is something that we would always strive for. But apparently, bring your own KVM, create a bare metal instance, and boop, boop, boop. Okay. So there might be like an automation gap to be closed here, but it seems to be an even lower hanging fruit than initially thought.
Did you say bare metal instance?
It apparently bring your own KVM, bring your own Hyper-V. You can bring your own operating system images or all the using KVM on bare metal instances.
That could be useful
Bring
in
your
the
own
future.
KVM, first grid. So using the KVM image and then copy on premise. Okay, so apparently they have bare metal instances on offer as well. So yeah, it'd be exciting to have someone looking into that. Yeah, 23.45.3 or later is probably the version we started with to work on. but I mean, there isn't like much referenced here, right? On how this is supposed to be working.
Well, but it's a good start.
It's definitely more than I was hoping for, actually. So
yeah, it's like kind of covered the preliminary research.
yeah, awesome.
And
Good stuff.
well, maybe we'll be talking to Oracle sooner than later, because I expected that this discussion would be spin like quite later.
Yeah, no, I mean, as a project, we're absolutely interested to support Oracle Cloud for many reasons. So
sorry, when I said speaking to Oracle, I meant as like getting credit for infra for testing. Yeah.
yeah, no,
later.
No, you're right.
But I'm a PM. I'm overly optimistic, and he's saying, "Yay, let's do it. We're there tomorrow." And then you were like, "Your job is telling me like, no, there is so much more to do."
It's fine. It's just work, right? Like there are no real blockers. People can just jump in and do it, and they'll get us handholding them during like the whole process. So that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, make sure, guys, that you are on metrics. Like again, it's like under the README on Flatcar. There's like there, and like all the maintainers are there. Like just like that's where the work is done. So like if you are interested in Flatcar, and seems like if you're here, you are interested in Flatcar, just be there.
It's right here. You just press this button, and then.
Oh yeah, there's also this.
And
because
that's
we have a nice website.
Yeah, it's all there. Awesome, good stuff.
Cool. So I'm opening again the stage for anyone.
Oh, can I talk now?
Of course.
I didn't want to talk out of turn. That's it feels like that's a rude thing to do. So I have had this PR opened for a little bit, and it's gone through some CI work, and then I received some help on it as well. And I'm not quite sure what the next step is. I know it's not currently passing, and I don't quite know how to fix it.
Can you remind us which one that is?
It's on this. It's 2676.
What's the context for the PR?
So there are Mellanox, the MLX5 driver has exposed a couple of config options, and I would like to enable those inside the kernel Flatcar, the kernel build inside of Flatcar. I can tell you why. Essentially, the MLX5 driver config options will then expose the ability to program the MLX5 NIC hardware offloads.
Yeah, I'm looking at my comment there. I think it might have been an issue that we had with CI failing for people outside the project, which is unfortunate. I'm not sure about the details, but maybe I could run it on our internal CI, and if it looks good there, then certainly we could just merge that.
Let me check.
Would it go then to alpha or?
Yeah, that's okay. So that's the thing. Yeah. Okay. So it builds like most of the things. Run tests fails. Let me check why. It's not a problem.
This is the usual failure for fork.
Yes, because it doesn't. It does fail. Some tests require fetch on the Flatcar /scripts. So.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So Jeremy had some kind of fix there, but it's been sitting there unmerged, and I don't know what the state of that is. I don't know why he didn't merge it.
The dev container fails. That is expected. Okay. I'm just gonna check if that's okay. Yeah. So this is the fourth rerun. We see only systemd end spawn and the dev container failing. Let me check the AMD 64 side of things. I'm just basically, so the build worked, and that's excellent. I would expect the build to show us any issues this might cause, because we don't have Mellanox hardware for the virtualized tests, right? So it wouldn't break there, and we know that the dev container, and yeah. the Docker and nspawn dev containers work because we didn't touch them. That's the rerun, and these two failed. Okay, it's the same. That's good. And then here, whoop, here we are trying to post a comment on the PR that you've opened in our upstream repo from your downstream repo, and that obviously doesn't work because that downstream repo doesn't have write access to the upstream repo, and that's fine. So everything's fine. Like, this looks good. In such cases, manually reviewing the tests and checking is fine. I just add this comment here. I did not review the changes. So if anyone looked at the changes, fine, we could merge. If we haven't reviewed the changes yet, that's the only thing that's missing.
Okay.
Would our Azure tests cover Mellanox?
Yes, we should.
Possibly. It
Yeah,
depends on the instance generation we're using for testing. It needs to be v5 or v6 because these have accelerated networking, and that will be covered there. We might want to use we might want to update the instance type we use on Azure. I think currently it's a v2. We can safely put them on v5 because these are available everywhere. v6 are coming. Okay. So dev container phase, that is expected, and the PR also expected. All right. Comments there. And actually, I'm very glad you brought it up. There's like a little bit of an automation there that we still have in these tests. And I think the main kind of issue or oddness of these CI actions are that we need self-hosted runners because we do crazy stuff, and this whole thing runs for a few hours. So basically just forking and running locally on your own fork doesn't really work if you don't have your own self-hosted runners, but we need to relax this a little. So maintainers can kind of kick off these tests and then get the results. But I mean, it's also, you can just take a look manually and then be happy.
Yeah. My memory fails me specifically, but I believe when I built this locally and booted it on one of our Flatcar, or I booted Flatcar on one of our nodes that had MLX5 hardware. I'm sorry, it had a CX7 in there, and it was happy. So, but like I would prefer, like if you guys have another round of testing or an environment to do testing, and that would make me feel better about my changes.
No, I mean, it is kind of a significant feature, so I would argue it goes to alpha first. Which would give us all the kind of safety we need. So that's all good.
Okay, yeah. And I debate trying to like add this change, which feels like just for me, but I'm hoping that Mellanox CX NICs are popular enough that other people would potentially enjoy that as well.
Oh no, I agree. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Hardware offloads are, my understanding of hardware offloads is that they are kind of a debated topic in various communities, because it's like, well, as soon as your traffic strays outside the defined offloads, then you get tanked performance and you have a bad user experience. But if you know what you're doing, it should be okay.
Yeah.
And then I guess the other kind of thing that I have done internally inside of Hedgehog is we have kind of smushed together an ISO image that's UEFI bootable. And so if there's interest or if you guys, I don't know what the appetite is for a UEFI bootable ISO image, but we could at least try to make that happen.
That is,
if you guys are interested.
Yeah, that is something we talked about a while ago. I think it's been on the list, but it wasn't especially high on the list, so we just hadn't got to it yet. But that, yeah, I'd be very interested to see that.
Okay, I can try to like we have something that's outside of the Flatcar build scripts, so I can try to add that into the Flatcar build scripts, or at least just kind of show what I have done.
Yeah, even just that would be great. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, all right. I'll try to figure out a good time to get that going. I'm not prepared for that now, other than just like showing. I don't know where I dig up the links for that, but our project is on GitHub, so it's around. But thank you, I appreciate that. So as far as that could potentially be merged into alpha, is that the summation of that? If the changes look good, then we could merge to alpha. Okay, whom could I speak with about that?
I think Tilo has requested a review from the Flatcar maintainers, so
sounds good.
You should get some traction on this. And I've seen you have a conflict, so if you could just rebase and solve the conflict, and like so, we are prepared to the final round of reviews.
Awesome. I'll try to get that done probably Friday of this week. I am currently in the United States spring break time, so
yeah, no rush.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution.
So for the next alpha, you have at least 2 more weeks, because we're aiming to kick it off. If I look at the release schedule here, at 21st of April, which is Monday, 2 weeks from now. And then even if you get if you run into issues next week, should you be working on it, then you can always raise this as something. Hey, I think that should go in, because otherwise we need to wait till May, right? So
yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to try to get that. I kind of got ahead of the offload, the team that's utilizing the code for the offload. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm well ahead of them, because I know that I would at least like it to go from alpha, beta, and stable. So thank you.
Brilliant.
Right.
Okay, so again, I'm opening up the stage. If anyone wants to share anything fun they're doing on their spring break or the long Easter weekend. All right.
Maybe let me use this to bring up my favorite toy. I have 2 open PRs in the SysX repo, SysX Bakery repo, that are pretty low hanging fruits, and they're like, fixing smaller bugs we still have from basically the whole rewrite we did, and actually people finding those bugs now. And they're easy fix, and they're backwards compatible, so people don't need to touch anything. But yeah, it'll. I hope it's the last iteration on ironing out wrinkles, but well, you never know. I'll keep my eye on the bakery anyways, for PRs and for issues. But I need reviews for those, and those are low hanging fruits. So anyone have some leisure time in the evening, those are nice.
Maybe Leisure got some leisure time. Sorry, I couldn't resist it. Yeah. Okay. So, how about we wish everyone a good evening, good morning, and good rest of the day. And I hope to see you around. We got some great ideas maybe for our next meeting. Maybe we could show how to contribute, have a session where we show how to make your testing locally, or how to do fiddle a bit with system extensions. So maybe that's something we could do the next office hours. If we don't have an agenda, just watch out, I might ask you to create a demo. So all right, until next time. In 2 weeks we got the developer sync, and in 1 month we got the office hours. At the end of the month, every Friday now, we would have bug smashing day, or documentation, or something along these lines, massaging the project from other angle. and would love to see you there. Auf Wiedersehen.
All
Right.
right.
Thanks
See you.
all. Bye.
Thank you.